ancient artwork actually tells us that music was one of the first communication languages used up to 100,000 years ago. And the feeling is that, the brain kind of created the music, and then as the brain created the music, it interacted with music too. And so we have brain plasticity as a result of this music going on. The brain will hear the music, and the brain oscillations will actually start to go in time with the music. Muscles will start to work with the music. And if you're working with something like a child with autism or a person with a stroke who has brain plasticity still available to them, then we actually have regrowth of neural patterns in the brain. And if you remember when Gabby Giffords was shot, 7, 8 years ago, and her left temporal lobe was pretty much destroyed, and that's where the speech centers are. So she could not talk. However, she could sing because music covers both halves of the brain. So therefore, she could learn to initiate speech by singing, and she learned through a technique called melodic intonation therapy. When we are listening to a favorite piece of music, the anticipatory, ooh, the reward is coming, the goosebumps are starting to build, actually lets out a shot of dopamine into the brain. And so this has tremendous, possibilities for what could we do with Parkinson's, what could we do with pain management. It's great possibilities. It's just we need to get this out there where it can really be used. This was one of the very first children that I started working with. We used a technique called rhythmic auditory stimulation, where basically the client will walk in time with the music. You can kind of see he knows he has to bend his knees, but he's actually not able to do it from the hips, and he's completely lost on the rhythm. So I worked with him 10 weeks, and we worked for 2 to 3 times a week. And there was no physical, no occupational, no drugs, no nothing. It was just music at the time. And you're going to see it's a really remarkable change. So really a remarkable change. Sure it really is. This young man, moderate to severely autistic, completely nonverbal, except he would initiate the words hi and bye when he went into the room. No other words at all. But his mother found out that he loved the song Happy Birthday. And so with a little bit of help, we were able to get him to sing You. So he loved Happy Birthday, and I worked with him for about a year. He insisted on Happy Birthday being the last thing we did for each session. And you'll see now, he's trying to enunciate every single syllable. We have the wonderful research that's out there showing and proving the effect of music, but we have to get the word out. And I think that really requires all of us sitting around the same table. The researchers need to take a step further and bring this information out to advocates so that the doctors and the musicians and the therapists and the caregivers and everybody is aware of this. I believe music therapy could actually revolutionize healthcare. I truly do believe that, and that is the mission that I'm on right now.